Hey everyone, welcome to the channel for another Escape from Tarkov video. In this one, I'll be presenting an updated body armor guide for the 0.12 patch. This latest content update added some new armor vests and armored tactical rigs, but more importantly, drastically changed the stats and utility of many armors in the game, most notably the armored tactical rigs and plate carriers. In the past, players were able to wear both a body armor and an armored tactical rig, allowing you to stack 2 layers of armor for extra protection. In the 0.12 patch, this was changed, and you now have to choose between an armored tactical rig or a body armor and tactical rig combo. While at first glance this seemed like a nerf, the developers also tweaked and upgraded almost every plate carrier in the game, making them an extremely viable choice to run by themselves, to the point where they've become my main source of body armor. In this video, I'll briefly go over every single piece of armor in Escape from Tarkov and list their current prices, armor rating, durability, movement penalties, and armor materials, along with a brief summary of how effective they are. I have to leave a disclaimer at the start of this video, however, stating that all of this information is subject to change at any time, since the game is still a work in progress and they've been tweaking the armor stats pretty regularly. Over the past weeks, there have been sweeping changes to body armor stats on a pretty regular basis, so if something changes dramatically, please leave a comment and I'll add these changes to the description of the video. So with that out of the way, let's take a look at the body armor options in Escape from Tarkov, starting with the lowest class of armor in the game. Class 2 armor is the most basic form of protection in Escape from Tarkov, and as such, it's also the first you'll be able to purchase for your character. This armor will basically only protect you from shotgun shells and the most basic of pistol rounds, so don't rely on these vests to save you from anything more than scavs or really low geared players. Currently, there's only 2 vests in this class, and only one can be purchased from the traders. The P.A.C.A vest is available from Ragman level 1 for about 18,000 rubles, and will protect your chest and stomach when worn. This armor has 50 durability points and is made of aramid fiber, so it will stop several low penetration rounds and repair fairly well. The P.A.C.A vest has a 6% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 6% ergonomics penalty, so it allows you to stay mobile while offering very basic protection. The Module 3M armor is essentially a slightly worse P.A.C.A vest, with lower durability at 40 points, so it won't last quite as long. The armor is also made of aramid and gives you a 7% movement penalty, 6% turning penalty, and 4% ergonomics penalty. That about covers it for the Class 2 vests. While they do have a place as the first armors you can purchase, I would recommend upgrading your armor as soon as you can access higher tier vests. Class 3 armor is the next level you will unlock as you level up the traders, and it's actually a pretty significant upgrade from Class 2 armor. These vests will provide reliable protection from most pistol and SMG rounds, shotgun shells, and some of the basic rifle rounds used by scavs and low-level players. Because of this, Class 3 armor is actually quite effective at protecting you from scav shots, and the generally low price of Class 3 armor makes it a pretty cost-effective choice when doing quests and not focusing on PvP fights. There are several Class 3 armors available to players, and I'll start with the absolute worst of the bunch, the UN Blueberry armor. The UN armor is available from Peacekeeper level 2 for about $400. It covers the chest and stomach and has 45 durability points. The armor is made of aluminum, one of the least durable materials, so it will be quickly destroyed and does not repair very well either. The UN vest also has some pretty heavy mobility penalties, an 18% movement penalty, 6% turning penalty, and an 8% ergonomics penalty. While it's technically the first level 3 vest you can unlock, all of these disadvantages make it generally not worth buying in my opinion. Next, the 6B23-1 armor is available from Ragman level 2 for about 42,000 rubles and will protect your chest and stomach with 60 durability points. This armor is made of steel, which is a somewhat low durability material, but the high armor points of this vest sort of make up for that, and it repairs fairly well. The 6B23 gives you an 11% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 9% ergonomics penalty, which are somewhat high but not too horrible. All things considered, I think this armor is a cost-effective choice, especially considering the bulky size, which makes it hard to loot and easy to get back through insurance. Next, we have the KILLA, which is sold for 61,000 rubles by Ragman level 3, or a trade of coffee, cola, and milk at Ragman level 2. This armor has 70 durability points and will protect the chest and stomach when equipped. The cuirasse is made of combined materials, which makes it fairly durable and also lets it repair fairly well. It also has respectable mobility stats with an 8% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 6% ergonomics penalty. I think the cuirasse is technically one of the better class 3 armors, however, it's unlocked pretty late into the game, and by that time you have access to stronger armor at a comparable price. It does drop commonly from scavs, however, so it's a great find if it's in good condition. The press armor can be found as a drop from scavs, and will protect your chest and stomach with 50 durability points. The press armor is made from high-weight polyethylene, the most durable material in the game, so it can stop several rounds and repair very well. For mobility stats, the press armor has a 10% movement penalty, 4% turning penalty, and 5% ergonomics penalty. This vest is one of the best class 3 armors, but it can't be purchased from traders, so you'll have to find one on a scav or check the flea market to get a hold of one. The final class 3 armor is the 6B5-16 armored tactical rig, which is sold by Ragman level 2 for about 50,000 rubles. Because this vest combines armor and a decent tactical rig into one package, it's a pretty cost-effective choice for budget runs or mid-gear raids. It protects your chest and stomach when equipped, has a pretty respectable 80 durability points, and is made of Titan, a fairly durable material that repairs quite well, meaning you can get a few good raids out of it. The movement penalties for this vest are a little stiff, however, with a 9% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 12% ergonomics penalty. That about covers it for the class 3 vests, so let's move up another tier to the class 4 armor. Because of recent changes and upgrades to armored tactical rigs, there are now more class 4 armors in the game than any other category, and currently I think these are some of the most cost-effective and practical armors to use, and the first tier of armor that is really effective in PvP fights. While they won't save you from heavy-hitting armor-piercing rounds, class 4 armor offers pretty reliable protection from most pistol rounds, shotgun shells, and basic rifle rounds, and it also has a decent chance to stop 1 to 2 rounds of mid-grade AP ammo if you're lucky. Because of the variety and availability of class 4 armor in this patch, it has sort of become the standard for mid to late game raids, and I see more class 4 vests on enemy players than anything else. First up, we have the 6B13 vest, which comes in 2 camo patterns and is sold by Ragman level 3 for about 64,000 rubles. This vest protects the chest and stomach when equipped and has 47 total durability points. Because it's made of ceramic, the least durable armor material, it breaks down quickly and repairs poorly, but will still reliably stop a few bullets. The 6B13 has a 12% movement penalty, 3% turning penalty, and 5% ergonomics penalty. So while it slows you down a bit, it doesn't mess with your shooting too much. While it's a decent vest, I still think the next one in this category is just a little bit more cost effective. The 6B23-2 armor is also sold by Ragman level 3 for about 72,000 rubles, and is in many ways better than the 6B13 for only about 10% extra cost. This armor will protect your chest and stomach when equipped and has 55 durability points, so it will last slightly longer than the 6B13 even though it is also ceramic. It also has similar mobility stats, an 11% movement penalty, 3% turning penalty, and 9% ergonomics penalty. For my money, I prefer going with the 6B23 over the 6B13, but I'm sure people prefer the lower ergonomics penalty on the 6B13 as well as the lower cost. Next, the Gazelle armor is sold for about 120,000 rubles by Ragman level 3 after completing a quest, or you can trade 2 gold chains and 3 coffees at Ragman level 3 as well. This armor will protect your chest and stomach when equipped, has 75 durability points, and is made of ceramic materials. While it has respectable mobility stats, a 10% movement penalty, 3% turning penalty, and 4% ergonomics penalty, I think the price of this armor is kind of outrageous, especially considering it's a ceramic plate which breaks down quite quickly. In previous patches, the Gazelle was much more affordable, and because of this, I used it quite frequently. However, I can't really recommend paying over 100,000 for this armor, and even the barter trade is now over 100,000 in total value, leaving the Gazelle in a very weird position unless it gets a significant buff. Finally, we come to the Trooper armor, which is only available on the flea market or from dead scav raiders. This armor protects only your chest, has a fairly high durability of 70 points, and is made of the most durable material in the game, high-weight polyethylene. Because of this, the Trooper will stop several rounds to the chest and repair well, but it leaves your stomach vulnerable, which some players dislike. To make up for this, it has some of the best mobility stats in its class, a 9% movement penalty, 2% turning penalty, and 3% ergonomics penalty. Honestly, as long as you carry a surgical kit to fix a potential blacked stomach and play carefully to avoid taking shots there in the first place, this armor is actually really reliable because it only takes damage on potentially fatal hits to the chest and has very high durability. That covers it for the standalone Class 4 armor vests, and now we move into the Class 4 armored rigs, which feature a ton of different options that are all actually quite useful. First, the 6B3TM armored rig is available from Ragman level 2 for about 47,000 rubles. This rig offers solid protection and a manageable vest layout for a great price, making it my preferred budget armor option. This rig has 40 total armor points, covers the chest and stomach, and is made of Titan, giving it respectable durability and repair stats. The only real big negative to this armor is the poor mobility numbers, with a 10% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and a big 15% ergonomics penalty. Despite this, I think this armored rig is a solid recommendation, and you'll see me wearing it quite often on budget runs. The 6B5-15 armored rig is available from Ragman level 1 for 2 soap and 4 toilet papers, or it can be commonly found on dead scavs. It will protect your chest and stomach with 50 durability points, but is made of ceramic, so it breaks down pretty quickly. While this rig is a decent option if you have nothing else, the 14% movement penalty, 7% turning penalty, and 12% ergonomics penalty, combined with low durability, give it a few disadvantages. Next, we move into the high-tier armored rigs, which all have huge vest layouts and low movement penalties, but are sometimes quite expensive. First, the ANA Tactical M1 vest can be traded for 4 Aquamarine water bottles from Ragman level 3 and will protect your chest and stomach with 65 durability points. This rig is made of Titan, so the high durability combined with a decent material give this vest some decent protection and repair stats, as well as a ton of space for mags. The mobility stats for the M1 are a 10% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 5% ergonomics penalty. Personally, I like this rig a lot, and what I usually do is drink 4 Aquamarine bottles over time down to 1 point remaining to keep myself hydrated between raids, and then trade them in for this vest afterwards. Next, the ANA Tactical M2 armored rig can be traded for 4 round glasses and 3 face shields from Ragman level 3, or 10 level 20 dog tags at Ragman level 4. Like the M1, this rig covers the chest and stomach, is made of Titan, but only has 50 total durability points. As a trade-off, it has slightly better mobility stats with an 8% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 2% ergonomics penalty. I think this rig is a pretty good trade for the 10 dog tags, and while I prefer the M1, I still think it's a great option and I use it from time to time. The CRYE AVS plate carrier has finally become an armor option in the 0.12 patch, and personally, it's among my most used vests for a lot of reasons. The AVS can be traded at Ragman level 3 for 5 bottles of shampoo and 3 Orthodontox toothpaste. It covers your chest and stomach, has 70 durability points, and is made of combined materials, which is among the most durable types in the game. On top of this, it has a huge vest layout with 2 4-slot pouches and plenty of space for mags and grenades. The AVS also has a 10% movement penalty, 2% turning penalty, and 2% ergonomics penalty, which are very respectable. When you add this all together, it makes the AVS a very useful and durable piece of armor that I run as one of my main vests. While the barter trade is not as convenient as just buying it, it doesn't cost much to craft the shampoo and buy a couple tubes of toothpaste. Next up is the Wartech TV110, which can be bought for about 95,000 rubles from Ragman level 4, or traded for 4 bleach and 2 shampoo at Ragman level 3. The Wartech rig, like the AVS, has a gigantic vest layout and a high durability at 85 points, but it only covers your chest like the trooper armor. This rig is also made of steel, meaning it breaks down a bit quicker and repairs slightly worse, but that's sort of countered by its high durability points. For mobility stats, the Wartech rig has an 8% movement penalty, 4% turning penalty, and 5% ergonomics penalty, which is nicely balanced. All things considered, this rig is a fine piece of armor, but you have to play a bit carefully to avoid exposing your stomach, just like with the trooper vest. Finally, the last piece of class 4 armor on this long list is the A18 plate carrier, available for a trade of 3 whiskeys at Ragman level 3, or 1 skull ring and 2 gold chains from Ragman level 4. This vest only covers the chest, has 80 durability points, and is made of combined materials, giving it a pretty respectable total durability. The vest layout features a ton of magazine slots, but no larger 4-slot pouches, which can really help with looting. For mobility stats, they are pretty good on this vest, at a 7% movement penalty, 4% turning penalty, and a 6% ergonomics penalty. I like this rig for its high durability and low profile on your character, but I think the trades for this vest are a little tougher to make than the AVS or Wartech, so I don't use it quite as much. finally, after that long list of Class 4 vests, we come to the Class 5 armor, arguably the most useful endgame armor in Escape from Tarkov. These vests will reliably protect you from basically anything except the top tier armor-piercing ammo, making them some of the most sought-after pieces of protection in the game. Because of this, access to them is somewhat limited and they're quite expensive. First up, we have the Gen 4 series, which come in 3 variants, all of which are made of Titan, a fairly durable armor material. The High Mobility Kit is available from Ragman level 3 for a trade of 10 GP coins. It protects the chest and stomach and has 62 durability points. For mobility, this vest has an 11% movement penalty, 15% turning penalty, and 11% ergonomics penalty. The Assault variant is available at Ragman level 4 for a trade of 3 skull rings and 6 gold chains. It covers the chest, stomach, and arms and has a total durability of 68 points. For mobility, it has a 17% movement speed penalty, 9% turning penalty, and 8% ergonomics penalty, which is oddly enough lower than the High Mobility Kit. Finally, the full protection variant is available at Ragman level 4 for 4 clocks and 2 cat statues, or at Ragman level 3 for 3 lion statues. It also covers the chest, stomach, and arms and has a total durability of 80 points. Because of its bulkiness, however, it also comes with a 33% movement penalty, 15% turning penalty, and 18% ergonomics penalty. While the Gen 4 vests each provide fairly reliable protection and can be commonly found on scav raiders, I think their significant movement penalties and extremely high price barter trades have made them pretty impractical to run unless you can find them off of raiders. While these trades could be tweaked to make them more attractive, I can't really see myself hoarding 10 GP coins or 3 lions just for a Class 5 armor vest. Next up, we have the REDUT armors, which come in a high mobility and full coverage variant. The REDUT-M vest is sold by Ragman level 3 for about 220,000 rubles, covering your chest and stomach with 57 total durability points. Because it's made of combined materials, it will take several shots before it breaks down and repairs fairly well. The price of this vest has more than doubled recently, but even so, it's still the most cost-effective Class 5 armor vest in the game. For mobility stats, this vest has a 13% movement penalty, 12% turning penalty, and 11% ergonomics penalty, which is pretty solid for the protection it offers. While it is pretty expensive, this vest offers a lot of protection, and I generally buy one of these when I'm doing full gear raids. The full coverage version of this vest, the REDUT-T5, can be traded at Ragman level 4 for 2 paracords and 4 filters. It covers the chest, stomach, and arms with an extremely high 95 durability points. Like the REDUT-M, it's also made of combined materials, so it repairs fairly well. However, this vest does have some insane mobility penalties, a 37% movement penalty, 15% turning penalty, and 14% ergonomics penalty. If you want to bring this out for factory or labs, it's not a bad choice, but don't get caught running across an open field with this bulky vest on because you'll be an easy target. Finally, the last standalone level 5 armor vest is also arguably the best armor in the game, KILLA's modified 6B13 body armor. This vest can be found by killing the interchange scav boss KILLA or on the flea market for around 150 to 200,000 rubles on most days. This armor has basically no downside except the fact that you have to take it from KILLA, which can be harder than it sounds. This vest protects the chest and stomach with 60 total durability points and is made of high weight polyethylene, the most durable material in the game. This means that not only will it stop a ton of bullets before breaking down, but it also repairs extremely well, which means it's going to last you a long time. KILLA's armor also has the best mobility stats in its class, with a 9% movement penalty, 3% turning penalty, and 5% ergonomics penalty. All of this combined makes the armor extremely effective, and I treasure every one of these I can get my hands on because it's among the best protection items available in the game. To close off the Class 5 armors, we have the 511 TACTEC plate carrier, which has been buffed to a Class 5 armor in this patch and is now solidly a top tier item. The TACTEC can be traded for 2 golden TT pistols at Ragman level 2, 3 gas masks and 6 flaming masks at Ragman level 3, or 1 vase and 6 chainlets at Ragman level 4. Like some of the other armored rigs, the TACTEC only protects your chest when equipped. However, it's made of polyethylene and has 50 total durability points, meaning it's going to stop multiple rounds to the chest before it breaks down too much. The TACTEC also has some of the best overall mobility stats in the game, with a 7% movement penalty, 3% turning penalty, and 3% ergonomics penalty. Put that all together, and the TACTEC shines as a great armored rig for players who want to remain mobile while still being able to survive some pretty huge shots to the chest. Like other rigs which only cover the chest, however, it requires some finesse to use effectively, but it can be surprising how many chest shots this thing will block before breaking down. Last but certainly not least, we come to the Class 6 armor, the strongest pieces of protection in the game, but also the hardest to come by. These vests will stop at least one of almost every single bullet in the game, with only the absolute most expensive rounds having a reliable chance to penetrate them. On the flip side, they are expensive, bulky, and unlocked very late in the game. First, the ZHUK 6A armor can be traded from Ragman level 4 for 2 vases and 3 teapots, giving you a Class 6 armor with 75 durability that protects your chest and stomach. However, this vest is made of ceramic plates, meaning it will only stop a few rounds before it starts to break down and become useless, and it doesn't repair very well either. For mobility stats, the ZHUK is actually quite nice, with a 13% movement penalty, 5% turning penalty, and 6% ergonomics penalty. While it won't stop a ton of shots, the ZHUK vest will often save your life from those 1 or 2 sniper rounds that would have otherwise ended you in one shot, so I still think it's a great option if you have access to it. Finally, the last armor I have to cover in the game, and one of the most iconic pieces of gear in Escape from Tarkov, is the 6B43 armor vest. A massive level 6 armor that will protect your chest, stomach, and arms with 75 total durability points. You can get the 6B43 from Ragman level 4 for 1 moonshine and 5 vodka, or you can trade 4 damaged 6B43 vests for 1 new one. Mechanic level 3 will also trade you this vest for 3 phased array elements. This armor is made of combined materials, making it more durable than the ZHUK vest, but it has some seriously massive mobility penalties at a 40% movement penalty, 18% turning penalty, and 27% ergonomics penalty. Personally, I wouldn't run this armor anywhere but factory and labs because of the speed penalties. However, players are going to have to dump quite a few shots into you to get past this vest, so if you play smart, it can be a great option. Well, that about covers it for all of the body armor options available as of the 0.12 patch, and I hope after watching this video you have a pretty good sense of what each class of armor can do and what the differences are between the many vests in the game. This patch has seen some pretty big changes to individual armors so far, and I think the developers have been doing a really great job at diversifying the equipment that players choose from, rather than having a few obvious top tier choices like in previous patches. The holidays will be a bit busy for me, but I'll be streaming more of my progress in the 0.12 patch on Twitch at twitch.tv/JDogTheWise, and it'd be great to see you drop by, so I'll leave a link for that down in the description. Thanks for checking out the video. As always, feel free to leave any comments, corrections, or suggestions down below, and until next time, stay safe in Tarkov City. Ooh, and down he goes.